Well, a few minutes ago, the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, spoke to the press in Lincolnshire. Let's have a listen to what he had to say.
Today we outlined in the King's Speech our legislative programme for the coming year, and one of the landmark pieces of legislation included in that programme is a new bill to ensure that a generation of our children grows up smoke-free. Smoking is the single biggest preventable cause of ill health, disability and death in our society. We have a chance to do something about that and save hundreds of thousands of lives, and we're going to take it. At the same time, we're also going to clamp down on the very worrying rise in the number of young people vaping. Talk to any parent or school like I'll be doing this morning, they'll tell you about this, and I want to make sure that we support parents and teachers in that quest, and that's why we're going to consult on measures to look at the appearance, the marketing, flavours of vapes, and make sure that we reduce the number of our young people who are exposed to these very damaging products for them.
Now, your Home Secretary has made comments about homelessness being a lifestyle choice in some cases, and those comments have caused a lot of anger. Will a restriction on tents be involved in the criminal justice bill?
Well, I don't want anyone to have to sleep rough, and I'm proud of the government's track record over the past few years in tackling that. We're investing £2 billion, and the number of people rough sleeping is down by a third since the peak. And thanks to our Homelessness Reduction Act, which is a piece of legislation we passed a little while ago, over 600,000 people have had their homelessness or rough sleeping either alleviated or prevented. But there's always more we can do. That's why we'll keep working at it. We said earlier in the year that we didn't want anyone to be criminalised for not having somewhere to live, and that's why we were going to repeal something called the Vagrancy Act, which is an outdated piece of law from the 1800s. And at the same time, as part of that plan, we want to make sure that intimidating or violent conduct, that the police do have the powers to tackle that.
Agree with Suella Braverman's comments?
As I said, I don't want anyone to have to sleep rough, and that's why I'm proud of the government's record in investing a huge amount of resources to reduce the number of people sleeping rough, down by a third since the peak. But there's more we can do, and that's why we'll keep working at it to give people the support that we need.
Supporting you or undermining you?
So what the Home Secretary and the government is doing is focus on people's priorities, and that's making sure that we continue to cut crime, which is down by 50% since 2010, tackle antisocial behaviour. The King's Speech that we announced yesterday contains new bills to make sure the police have the powers they need to keep us safe, new powers, and that criminals get the punishments they deserve, and that life will mean life for the most serious crimes. You know, that's the government's agenda on criminal justice, as well as stopping the boats, and the number of illegal migrants crossing into this country is down by over a quarter this year, and it shows that the plans are working.
The Met Police don't currently think it should be banned. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, this is a decision that the Metropolitan Police Commissioner has made, and he has said that he can ensure that he safeguards remembrance for the country this weekend, as well as keep the public safe. Now, my job is to hold him accountable for that, and we've asked the police for information on how they will ensure that this happens, and I'll be meeting the Metropolitan Police Commissioner later today to discuss this, and more broadly, you know, my view is that these marches are disrespectful, and that's what I'll be discussing with the Police Commissioner later today.
But it's a march calling for armistice on Armistice Day.
As I said, this is a decision by the Metropolitan Police Commissioner. He said that he can safeguard remembrance and keep the public safe from disorder. My job is to hold him accountable for that, and I'll be meeting him later today to discuss this.
Police officers are guarding Rochdale's cenotaph after 2 incidents at the War Memorial. Are you worried about that?
The desecration of war memorials is absolutely sickening. This weekend will be about the country coming together to pay tribute and recognise the sacrifice of so many over so many years. That's what I'll be doing, and I think that's what the vast majority of this country will be doing this weekend, marking that moment with the dignity and respect that it deserves.
Imran Khan's resignation over Labour's failure to call for
I mean, that's a question for Keir Starmer rather than for me. The government's position is crystal clear on this. Israel suffered an absolutely shocking terrorist attack at the hands of Hamas. They have every right, indeed a duty, to protect their country and their citizens. And as I've repeatedly stressed to the Israeli Prime Minister, they should do that in accordance with international law. We're doing everything we can to get more aid, humanitarian aid, into Gaza to help people. And we've consistently said that we should have humanitarian pauses as soon as possible to allow more aid to flow in, as well as hostages and British nationals to come out.